We've still got a lot to catch up on from our big, beautiful week off, and what better place than News Dump to cover it all. And we should, of course, start the episode off with one of the funniest stories that we missed while we were gone, and it's a story that, alongside Trump's numerous health problems, shows just how fragile and accident-prone these doddering old assholes truly are. And no one encapsulates this better than former New York City Mayor, nay, America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani, who has found himself in various levels of distress and danger in the past decade or so.
And embarrassment.
Yeah, and, sometimes he's springing an oil leak while holding a press conference after the 2020 election. Sometimes he's getting his law license revoked for repeatedly lying to various courts. Or he's ending up on the receiving end of multiple lawsuits, or unzipping his pants to adjust himself while alone in a hotel room with an actress portraying a reporter in a comedy movie. Or he's just getting patted on the back by someone at a supermarket and then claiming that it was assault and that he felt like he was getting shot or hit by a boulder, despite video evidence clearly contradicting that statement.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh! He got me! Oh, I'm dead, I'm dying.
The man's a walking comedy of errors, and almost all of his suffering is self-inflicted, mostly stemming directly from his relationship with Donald Trump. The friendship that just keeps on giving.
Yeah,
Rudy Giuliani.
For me, it really started when Rudy Giuliani dressed in drag to make that video with Donald Trump.
Way back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, another unfortunate event befell the bumbling moron as Rudolph Giuliani was involved in some sort of traffic collision that left him with multiple lacerations and fractured vertebrae. And you're saying to yourselves, guys, an old man getting in a nasty car accident? How is that funny? Well, because somehow Rudy Giuliani, seemingly unprompted, turned what would be described as a pretty normal automobile accident into the most suspicious-sounding incident possible.
He over-explained it in a way that raises a lot of questions.
Car accidents, they happen, but not like this.
Yeah, typically the news would be like, oh crap, Rudy Giuliani was rear-ended and he hurt himself? Well, I am...
Thoughts and prayers, I guess.
That's all the information I need. But no, he went above and beyond with this story.
He was rear-ended by an SUV, but only after he'd apparently stopped to help a domestic abuse victim miles away from where he was struck, which was for some reason an extremely important detail to make public. Actually, Rudy's kind of the hero of this story. If you really look at all the details of it.
Yeah, despite this taking place at a different time and location, he apparently saved someone that we haven't heard from yet, but someone was saved by Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah. The statement that was released by Giuliani's head of security literally raised more questions than it even attempted to answer. So let's just read you this statement, which again was released by the guy who was arguably just the victim of standard, boring rear-end collision.
Official statement for immediate release. On the evening of August 30th, 2025 in New Hampshire, Mayor Giuliani was involved in a motor vehicle accident. Prior to the incident, he was flagged down by a woman who was the victim of a domestic violence incident. Mayor Giuliani immediately rendered assistance.
What does that mean?
And contacted 911. He remained on the scene until responding officers arrived to ensure her safety.
I feel bad for that definitely real woman, because imagine you are in that kind of situation. You go looking for help, and the first person you land on is Rudy Giuliani, who himself very notoriously...
has a lot of...
at the very least, verbally and emotionally and financially abusive, as has been proven in court.
Yeah, and even if you didn't recognize him as Rudy Giuliani, a goblin stumbles out of a car and attempts to rescue you.
That thing can't help me.
Please, someone else, anyone else. So, okay, but look, based on his story, very heroic, very nice. So, okay, was he hit by a car while parked on the side of the road and helping this woman?
Was it her mean husband?
Yeah, came to get some revenge?
Yeah.
No. I guess this was just a completely separate thing that happened during his day.
But worth noting.
Yeah, and it does continue.
Oh, there's more.
Following this, while traveling on the highway, Mayor Giuliani's vehicle was struck from behind at high speed. He was transported to a nearby trauma center where he was diagnosed with a fractured thoracic vertebrae, multiple lacerations and contusions, as well as injuries to his left arm and lower leg. Okay, well, there's the accident part. Got it. Sounds like
he got roughed up real bad.
He's in bad shape. I sure hope one of his business partners shows up to take care of him. His business partner and medical provider were promptly contacted and arrived at the hospital to oversee his care.
Thank God.
At this time, no further updates are available.
But I need further updates.
Well, at least it doesn't sound bizarrely threatening for some reason.
Oh, there's more?
This is the only statement authorized by Mayor Giuliani, signed Michael Ragusa, head of Mayor Giuliani's security.
Michael Ragusa, it'd be a real shame if someone were to look for any other statements authorized by Rudy Giuliani, because this is the only one we got is right here.
If you hear any interviews or contradictory statements from anyone that may or may not exist or was involved in this incident, no, you didn't.
Doesn't say anything about contacting his large adult son.
Or the victim
Probably
of
playing golf.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably true. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what actually happened here? Did Rudy make all of this up because he got beat up by the mob because he owed them money or something? Is he making up an elaborate excuse, one where he's also a hero for some reason, to explain away some injury that he sustained elsewhere?
No, you don't understand. I'm all beat up because I saved someone from a domestic abuse situation.
I mean, my question is, knowing how absolutely shit-faced this man seems to be at all hours of the day, did that have anything to do with what happened to him?
Apparently, he was the passenger, which is like
Well, who was the driver then?
even crazy.
They left that out of the statement.
You got to get in the driver's seat. I'm one more DUI away from having to blow into that
man.
little device. Ooh.
A lot of questions. I mean, I guess we'll just have to take Rudy at his word for now until we hear from that woman that he saved.
Or anything
Or
else.
just, that we're just working with what we've got here.
Any other statement. But again, we can't trust any other statements because in his initial statement, he said, this is the only statement.
This is all of it.
Do not ever inquire again.
Anything else, irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the story was good enough for Trump because while Rudy was recovering from the crash and while Trump was supposed to be dead, he posted on Truth Social that he'd be giving Giuliani the Presidential Medal of Freedom before America's mayor succumbs to any more incidents.
Yeah.
We're just giving people that for car crashes?
No, it's for everything else that I guess Giuliani's done in his life, which
I guess,
extends to legally representing Donald Trump.
I mean, Rudy has given his life to Trump, and Trump probably heard about this, and he's like,
oh, Rudy's gonna probably die one of these
makes
days.
you remember, like, oh shit, it really makes you appreciate what you've got while you've got it. I should give him that Medal of Freedom.
Yeah.
So here's what Trump said. As President of the United States of America, I am pleased to announce that Rudy Giuliani, the greatest mayor in the history of New York City and an equally great American patriot, will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, our country's highest civilian honor. Details as to time and place to follow. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again.
In addition to that, The Onion is now reporting that President Trump will also award Rudy Giuliani the Presidential Medal of Incest. Because, as you'll all remember, he at one point married his cousin.
Hey, it was a different time.
Yeah. But in case you were worried at all about Rudy's physical health, he does appear to be somewhat fine. But he was spotted
He's
on
actually, he's stronger than ever.
yeah, technically, yes. He has an exoskeleton now.
We can rebuild him.
Yeah. He was spotted on his own Rumble podcast rocking a full body brace, at least on the upper body. We can't see below the desk, but he is walking.
Who knows what's going on down there?
He probably has those robot legs.
Yeah. And you asked them can you make me a little bit taller?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not happy with my gigantic clown shoes anymore.
That's another question I have that was not answered in the statement is like, hey, they said his legs were injured. Is he going to get even shorter?
Yeah.
Is that picture, that Photoshop of him golfing, is that going to be real life now? Are they going to have to make that picture?
That's why he wears the oversized pants to hide the exoskeleton.
Yeah.
It's the only way he can move around anymore. Anyways, I'm sure that as time goes on and the story becomes more elaborate, the things that he wears will become even better. He'll have braces and casts and bandage. He's gonna have his head wrapped in bandages.
He's gonna be piloting a Gundam.
Yeah. Anyways, he'll eventually tumble down the stairs after trying to rescue a puppy or something, and then it'll be curtains for old Rudy.
Yeah.
You don't understand. There was a dog, and he was crying out for my help.
He died a hero.
Yeah.
Just like how he lived heroically.
But anyway, since we're on the topic of health, who's ready to get healthy? With, of course, Dr. RFK Jr. That's right, RFK Jr., our nation's top doctor, who also looks like a slab of beef jerky.
That's what a man's supposed to look like.
And just so happens to be the head of Health and Human Services. You might not like it, but this is peak male performance.
Yeah.
And this is what all Americans should strive to look like.
That's what we all looked like before the seed oils.
Uh-huh. On Thursday of this week, RFK Jr. appeared before the Senate and was promptly yelled at by elected officials on both sides of the aisle for his dog shit performance in the position that he is in no way qualified for. In fact, his conspiracy theories and vaccine skepticism would be disqualifying marks in any normal timeline. But we're in bizarro world, so RFK Jr. is in charge, and his Senate appearance follows a chaotic few weeks where over 1,000 health department employees published a letter to Congress and Kennedy himself begging him to resign immediately.
Well, what the hell would those people know about health?
Here's ABC News.
Addressed to Kennedy and members of Congress, the signatories accused the secretary of endangering the health of Americans. The letter reads in part, "We swore an oath to support and defend the United States Constitution and to serve the American people. Our oath requires us to speak out when the Constitution is violated and the American people are put at risk. Thus, we warn the President, Congress, and the public that Secretary Kennedy's actions are compromising the health of this nation, and we demand Secretary Kennedy's resignation." The letter also referenced an interview Kennedy gave to Scripps News last month in which he said trusting experts is not a feature of either a science or democracy, which staffers referred to as ongoing verbal attacks of the HHS workforce. Employees also expressed dismay over Kennedy's June move to remove all 17 members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel, the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, which makes recommendations on the safety, efficacy, and clinical need of vaccines, and replace them with 8 of his own hand-selected members, many of whom have expressed vaccine-skeptic views.
Yeah, and this was also while RFK convinced the White House to fire the director of the CDC, Susan Menarez.
Well, what the fuck does she know about health?
And that was just a month or so after she'd been confirmed to the role by the Senate.
What the hell does the Senate know about health? Less than RFK?
A White House spokesperson confirmed to Politico that Menarez was ousted because she is, quote, not aligned with the president's agenda of making America healthy again. Now, immediately after it was announced that she was fired, 3 other top leaders from the CDC resigned in protest. Seems bad, but it's also very stupid because, like we said, she was just confirmed to the position recently. And this was after receiving praise from health experts and even RFK Jr. himself, who in March...
what the hell does he know?
who in March wrote, "I handpicked Susan for this job because she is a longtime champion of MAHA values and a caring, compassionate, and brilliant microbiologist and a tech wizard who will reorient CDC towards public health and gold standard science." All of this apparently changed when she refused to go along with RFK's destructive decisions regarding vaccines, with her lawyer saying the following in a statement. When CDC Director Susan Menarez refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts, she chose protecting the public over serving a political agenda. For that, she has been targeted. As a person of integrity and devoted to science, she will not resign. So that was the first thing, was HHS put out this statement that she was gone.
Yeah,
and she immediately put out a statement that was like, I haven't been contacted that I've been fired, nor have I resigned myself.
Yeah.
So anyways.
So this definitely had something to do with the fact that last week the FDA announced the COVID-19 vaccines would only be available to adults over 65 unless you had a recommendation from your personal doctor, which obviously makes this a lot harder and more expensive to acquire for a large portion of the population who don't have a personal doctor.
Or who don't have insurance to cover it, and it ends up costing hundreds of dollars, or they do, and it just is like a huge hassle with loops to jump through. And it also, at this point, varies state by state, because some states are fighting back against this. And then you have Florida, which we'll get to, who's just saying, not only do you not have to get this vaccine,
no,
you don't have to get anything.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's see how that works out.
Clearing the board. Yes, I mean, a lot of people are not going to be getting their updated COVID shots, even if they want them, which is probably bad because it's still going around and
spiking all over the place.
Not really ever going away. So, you know, you'd think that if someone wants a little extra protection from it, especially if they have serious health issues that would mean getting COVID's bad.
Yeah.
Especially bad for them. They should at least have the choice of like going to a fucking CVS and asking for it.
Yeah. Or like their whole thing for so long was like the my body, my choice thing, which obviously is bullshit.
Yeah, your body,
the
my
abortion
choice. Yeah.
stuff. But this is just another example of that, where it's just like, no, actually.
Yeah, not only does no one have to get vaccinated, anyone who wants to get vaccinated, we're not going to let you fucking do that.
Yeah, we're going to make it extremely difficult for you to do that.
Anyway, things went several steps further this week over in Florida, the Sunshine State. Suspiciously, right after Ricky went to Florida.
Yeah, I went there and caused some trouble.
Ricky know? What did he know?
I went there and spread every disease possible, and then came back.
The Florida State Surgeon General announced that the state will end all vaccine mandates, even for children attending public school.
Great, let's see how this all turns out.
Woo!
Yeah.
He called it slavery.
Yeah.
It was a crazy statement.
Yeah, and people have pointed out, like, that the statement that I've seen online is that vaccines worked so well that people have forgotten how important they are to everyday life and the health of Americans. Like, now they're going to see just how important those vaccines were.
Yeah.
But it also puts everyone else at risk.
Like, my great-grandmother, who was still kicking, like, up until I was, like, 10 years old, she had polio as a child, and it, like, fucked her up. Badly for her entire life. Like, one of her legs was like 6 inches shorter than the other one.
And that's what's crazy about this is for so long, even like not even level-headed Republicans, but a lot were just like, oh, well, I'm just talking about the COVID vaccine. All the other stuff that I got when I was a kid or blah, 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 that's fine.
Yeah.
Now it's just, no, you don't have to get any of the vaccines at all. And let's just throw all the kids in there together.
A similar thing that I saw this week that, like, I'd never really thought of, but it totally makes sense, is just like, before pasteurization, people boiled their own milk. There were appliances specifically for boiling your own milk.
Give me the raw.
No one, especially people living on farms, was just drinking that shit straight from the cow because they knew you had a good chance of getting sick.
Yeah.
It's just
through trial and error.
And an interesting point to this is like that was always mom's job, and men are always an interesting thing about being as man is you're just fucking oblivious to shit that like your mom did for your sake when you were a child. So they just assumed like, is that from the cow? Yeah, okay. Well, I guess they just poured it straight from the udder into my glass.
I will say, driving around in Florida, I saw so many billboards with like places advertising that they only serve their fries if they are fried
Beef tallow.
Literally on the billboard, as if it is like some new health cure.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking weird. I mean, like, it probably tastes good. I'll
does
give you
taste
that.
good.
Like, beef tallow tastes better.
Yeah.
Way better than canola.
A lot of things taste good that aren't good for you.
But, like, this whole conspiracy theory that, like, all of our woes can be sourced to, like, switching to, like, cheap, mass-produced cooking oils is so fucking weird, and I do not understand it.
And it's like the real sugar and soft drinks thing. I agree.
It tastes
in my
better.
opinion,
Yeah.
it tastes better. It's not better for you.
Yeah, you should just not.
They're both bad.
Sugar's
for you.
bad. You shouldn't have a lot of it.
Yeah.
No matter whether it's cane or high fructose.
Anyways, back to vaccines. They said no problem.
No
We're gonna-
vaccines. Yeah, let's just turn all our little classrooms into a petri dish.
That's right.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's not only going to result in the resurgence of diseases that had previously been eradicated, it will also fuck up the rest of the country as a result because diseases don't care about state lines.
Yeah.
Here's CNN. The state health department will immediately move to end all non-statutory mandates in the state, Dr. Joseph Ladapa said at a news conference. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was also at the event, said state lawmakers would then look into developing a legislative package to end any remaining mandates. Ladapo said that every vaccine mandate is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. All 50 states have had school immunization requirements since the beginning of the 1980s, with incoming kindergartners needing shots to protect against diseases including measles, polio, and tetanus. They also added that no states require a COVID-19 vaccine for school children. It's not a thing.
Yes, this is all just Florida doing some weird shit.
Yeah. Which, makes this all the more frustrating, stupid, and ultimately, guess we'll see, but seems like it's gonna be deadly.
Oh, another thing that I was witness to constantly while I was in Florida, and I know it was national news as well, but it was just constantly on my mind while I was there, is in order for them to paint over all of the gay rainbows and
They showed up
crosswalks-
at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, so they banned all artwork on roads and sidewalks, which, like, specifically in Orlando, they painted over the Pulse nightclub crosswalk memorial. And so people were going out there with rainbow chalk and chalking it back in there. And then so they had, like, Florida state troopers standing guard at this crosswalk so that people wouldn't draw on it in chalk. They were arresting people for drawing on it in chalk. Luckily, local judges were like, no, I'm not. This is insane. Also, it's chalk. It's not damaging anything. But so they had the Florida, like, Department of Motor Vehicles out there, like, constantly working to clean this up. They had highway patrol there monitoring the situation. It's this huge problem. But elsewhere in the state, they were removing artwork just so they could get away with, like, not being like it's only for the gay stuff.
Yeah.
They were removing artwork everywhere. Like, they had, apparently a couple months ago, they had a contest for, like, high school students to do artwork for, like, the local bike lanes and stuff. And they're like, get rid of it. Gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
Even my hometown is, like, famous for, like, 3D sidewalk chalk. They have, like, a yearly event. Fucking gone. They have to do all of it so that they don't look like it's, like, a hate thing.
Wow. Well, it sounds like they don't really have this under control. I think they need to send in the spins the wheel Massachusetts National Guard.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. LA's National Guard is going to go to Florida.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they're going to draw new murals. This year is all about making the National Guard do unorthodox assignments.
Yeah.
And this year,
At the cost of hundreds of millions of
California National Guard is going to take a little trip over to Florida and do some sidewalk chalk art to fix this mess.
There's weird shit happening there right now, specifically because of them wanting to erase gay crosswalks, but specifically the one in front of the fucking
Yeah,
Pulse
like
nightclub.
one of the deadliest mass shootings in this nation's history.
Yeah.
I guess
Fuck it.
fuck them kids.
It's insane. But anyways, in that article, they also point out that a study published last year by the CDC estimated that routine childhood vaccinations, such as those included in school mandates, will have prevented about 508 million illnesses, 32 million hospitalizations, and 1,129,000 deaths among children born between 1994 and 2003. They also were estimated to avert $540 billion in direct costs. The American Medical Association strongly opposes the plan to end vaccine mandates.
What the hell do they know?
Dr. Sandra Adamson Freihofer, an internal medicine physician and member of the professional organization's board of trustees, said in a statement. She then proceeded to essentially scream as loud as possible about how dangerous this is and just begged people to have a shred of common sense, adding, "This unprecedented rollback would undermine decades of public health progress and place children and communities at increased risk for diseases such as measles, mumps, polio, and chickenpox, resulting in serious illness, disability, and even death. While there is still time, we urge Florida to reconsider this change to help prevent a rise of infectious disease outbreaks that put health and lives at risk." Please, is anyone... This is like, when I read this, I just hear someone begging for anyone to listen and have a shred of the person they used to be in there somewhere. Like,
sorry, lady. I watched a couple YouTube videos and did my own research.
you know, Sean Hannity moved down here to Florida, and I think I trust him to know what's in the state's best interests.
This is crazy. Like, we were, like, I think the last year or so, like, people born, like, 2 or 3 years after us never got chickenpox. It was over by then.
Yeah, I had
And,
my parents were the ones that, like, threw me in with the chickenpox kids so I'd get it and get it out.
Yeah,
my
I mean,
system
it
or
was
whatever.
kind of, like, unavoidable because it's extremely fucking contagious.
Yeah.
But, like, now, for the rest of my life, I have to worry about getting shingles.
Yeah, exactly.
Which fucking sucks. Like, I've talked to people who've had it. They say it's one of the worst things you can go through.
Yeah.
And
we're getting up to that age, baby.
And I think it's really cool that that's,
Eradicated.
There's entire generations of people where that's not a concern anymore, but hey, we're bringing it back.
That's right.
Anyway, all of this leads us to Thursday, when RFK Jr. sat before a Senate committee who was obviously very concerned that he is doing irreparable damage to the health of our nation, despite RFK Jr. clearly demonstrating for years that he was and is an anti-vax conspiracy nutjob who should have never been appointed to this position in the first place. The man collected roadkill and played with it. He swims in sewage. What the fuck were people thinking? I know what they were thinking. Trump wanted his votes, and it probably played a pretty key role in him winning the election.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first off, someone in the room started screaming at him before he even started fielding questions, accusing him of killing millions of people.
The committee will come to order.
All right. Then Republican Senator Bill Cassidy got RFK to admit that President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for Operation Warp Speed, which, hold on, that was the development and authorization of COVID-19 vaccines.
Wow.
By your logic, sir.
He literally got him.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. That was phenomenal.
Let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
That was a statement.
I did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also were
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact. You also said that you were also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access.
After that, Elizabeth Warren asked about the resignation of CDC Director Susan Menares, and RFK bizarrely claimed that it was not for any other reason than Menares told him that she was untrustworthy.
I'm not a trustworthy lady.
Tell the head of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign?
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no.
It got even more heated between Warren and RFK when the senator straight up accused RFK of lying about access to the vaccine.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
And he also at one point attempted to avoid acknowledging that COVID-19 killed around 1 million people in the United States.
Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID?
Not only should RFK Jr. resign, he should be loaded into a cannon and shot into space.
Yeah, or like left at sea.
The fact that it's difficult, confusing, and in some cases nearly impossible for an adult to receive a COVID-19 shot this year alongside their flu shots is outrageous. Maybe we should, I don't know, listen to the hundreds upon hundreds of doctors from various health departments as well as the CDC instead of, I don't know, fucking RFK Jr.
Yeah, but he's a Kennedy. I mean, the rest of the Kennedys fucking hate him and believe he is a threat to this country. Mm-hmm. But he's a Kennedy. I would say they're not. He's the true Kennedy.
Yeah.
The heir to the dynasty.
And look how healthy he is.
Yeah, healthy as a horse.
That's right.
Because he takes horse medicine, probably.
Yeah.
But hey, at least he's not the only Kennedy getting clipped online this week, because despite not being related at all to JFK or RFK Jr., Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana still found time to make himself look like a fool while talking about the very serious problem of radioactive shrimp being shipped in from places like Indonesia. Now, we covered the radioactive shrimp a few episodes ago, but this week, John Kennedy decided to present his case against these shrimp directly to other members of the U.S. Senate in the most bizarre way possible, while standing next to a close-up image of the Chestburster alien from Ridley Scott's 1979 classic movie. Here's, just watch the clip, because it's surreal.
This is a photograph of the alien from the movie Alien. This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries. It had a radioactive isotope in it called cesium-137. Even if it doesn't turn you into the alien if you eat this stuff, I guarantee you'll grow an extra ear.
Fucking everything's so fucking stupid.
It's the
We're a
dumbest
stupid
timeline.
country. We deserve everything coming to us. God damn it. And since we're on the topic of cringeworthy clips coming out of our government this week, here's First Lady Melania Trump.
Hey, they found her. She was missing for a while.
Here she is talking about artificial intelligence for some reason.
Sure.
Okay.
Robots hold steady hands in the operating room, and drones are redefining the future of war. Innovations of first-generation humanoids, factory automation, and autonomous vehicles have surged from private sector investment. Every one of these advancements is powered by AI.
Very valuable.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mrs. First Lady.
That, I know so much more about this topic now.
Yeah. Now, political tomfoolery isn't limited to the United States, though. And this week, we were all on the verge of something really funny happening over in British Parliament. Unfortunately, the plot was thwarted after a routine sweep. But someone had hidden a cell phone that was supposed to start playing hot sex noises during a debate involving British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Here's Sky News. An investigation has been launched after security guards foiled a plot to embarrass the Prime Minister by playing sex noises from a phone hidden in the Commons. It appears that the device had been set to play a sexually explicit recording, if wrong, and that the person behind the plot hoped to make this happen as Sir Keir Starmer faced off against Kemi Badenoch on Wednesday lunchtime.
The source explained that the phone had been attached to the underside of the table near the front bench with double-sided sticky tape, and that this had lost its grip, leading to the phone lying exposed on the floor. The phone later rang twice during PMQs with a sex noise ringtone, but it had already been removed from the chamber. And they add that while the plot, believed to be a prank, was avoided, security staff do not know who was behind it or how the phone came to be there. It is being treated as a serious security breach, and it is understood that there is no clear footage of the phone being planted.
Ooh, what? A mystery. And it sounds like they wouldn't have found it either if the double-sided tape didn't fail and let it drop on the floor.
Yeah, this is just a covert ad for, Gorilla Tape.
No, it's a
Wouldn't
bad
happen.
ad for it. Oh, yeah,
Well, it wouldn't happen with Gorilla Tape.
Yeah, that's right. Also, just yeah, I mean, anything could have been taped up there.
Also,
That's the
sex
security
noises? What happened to the pooter? What happened to the classic pooter?
Put down a whoopee cushion on his chair and let him sit on it.
Yeah. The sex noise doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
What's the joke?
It's probably it's his phone going off in his pocket. He's watching the Pornhub. Also, look, I had a lot of experiences in Florida. We were having a conversation about guns, obviously. And my friends pointed out at the time, they were like, oh, by the way, have you checked Pornhub? And I was like, well, no. So I was like, oh, yeah, they have one of those laws here. I want to check it out. Pornhub.com, you cannot access it. Even
It's blocked by the ISPs?
It's blocked by Pornhub, who are we are not going to enable this weird, where you have to upload your ID or whatever. And they're because of Florida state law, you cannot access pornography. You have to upload your driver's license.
You got to go down to the truck stop and you got to pick up an issue of jugs. We're making America horny again.
That's right.
But before we had seed oils, before we had vaccines, before we had internet porn, we did things a certain way.
Yeah, that's right.
You bought the magazine of jugs at the truck stop.
Or you found it in the woods.
You read it and then you deposit it in the woods for younger generations.
Your real sugar Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And your fries done in beef tallow.
The cultural downfall of this country can be directly traced to the fact that kids aren't out there scraping their knees up and finding porn in the woods.
And drinking from the hose.
Yeah.
That's right. Where you get all your minerals.
Yeah. All the minerals.
Uh-huh. Now, elsewhere in our new unreality, The Trump administration has teamed up with ultra-conservative media organization PragerU to launch a new museum that features a rewriting of American history with the help of, you guessed it, artificial intelligence. In one specific example, one of our founding fathers, John Adams, apparently comes to life and exclaims that facts do not care about your feelings.
I don't think he said that.
Which many have pointed out is a frequent quote from PragerU collaborator Ben Shapiro. And not something John Adams was exclaiming all the time.
I think we would know if he'd been the one to coin that.
Yeah, here you go.
In other words, friend, facts do not care about our feelings.
And
that sucks.
Of course, here's NPR with more on this abomination. A new history exhibit commissioned by the Trump administration has some historians perplexed, as the administration's pushback on arts and history raises questions about omitting marginalized voices in the nation's history. 82 paintings, including portraits of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, as well as key events from America's founding, make up the Founders Museum.
The exhibit, just steps from the White House inside the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, marks a partnership between the administration's White House Task Force 250 and conservative nonprofit PragerU to celebrate the lead-up to America's semi-quincentennial next year. Besides paintings of Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, and Betsy Ross, the museum also features over 40 AI-generated short videos of these historical figures coming to life to share their stories, all available online and produced by PragerU. Boo!
And they look like bad AI things as well.
This fucking sucks. Brendan Gillis, Director of Teaching and Learning for the American Historical Association.
What would he know?
Was quoted by the outlet saying, "I have real concerns about the extent to which they weave together words that are preserved in primary sources from historical figures with other sort of commentary. And it's not always clear when the historical figures actually said the words that are coming out of their mouth or wrote them down, and when this is the work of whoever scripted them." Yeah, that's a pretty big fucking problem from a historical perspective.
Yeah.
It's an abomination.
Now, speaking of AI bullshit destroying everything in its path and continuing to prove that CEOs who push this stuff should be locked up, another company has been accused of providing a platform that allows users to create chatbots based on celebrities, which then, of course...
What could go wrong?
They go on to send explicit messages to teenagers.
Oh, that could go wrong.
This time it's from the app Character.ai, and it involves some extremely well-known stars.
This company's already being sued for, like, their Khaleesi bot driving a fucking kid to kill himself.
And this one sounds like another just slam dunk from any of these celebrities' lawyers. Here's the Washington Post. AI-generated chatbots using the names and likenesses of actor Timothée Chalamet, singer Chappell Roan, and National Football League quarterback Patrick Mahomes chatted inappropriately with teen accounts on topics including sex, self-harm, and drugs, two online safety nonprofit organizations found. The chatbots responded via text and through AI-generated voices trained to sound like the celebrities. The celebrity chatbots were created by character users with features the app provides to let anyone easily make a custom chatbot, add a synthetic voice, and make it available for others to use.
The chatbots were among 50 on the app tested by Parents Together Action and Heat Initiative, using accounts registered to users between the ages of 13 and 15. Across the tests, chatbots raised inappropriate content every 5 minutes on average, the group said in a report released Wednesday. In some chats, researchers pushed the boundaries of the conversation to see how the chatbots would behave. In others, the bots made sexual advances out of nowhere. Character users have interacted with the chatbots of Chalamet, Roan, and Mahomes, which appear to have been created without the star's permission. Yeah, no fucking shit. More than 940,000 times, according to figures listed by the company. Characters said the three chatbots were all made by users and removed by the company. In tests by the Post, typing in Chalamet's full name prompted the app to provide a recognizable illustration of the actor's face and automatically recommend a user-generated voice that sounded like him.
Potentially harmful messages documented by the nonprofits included chatbots asking underage users to move to a more private platform, and at other times encouraging users to hide their relationship with the chatbot from their parents. Knox said that asking a minor to move to another platform to exchange pictures mirrors a common grooming technique used by predators to target children online called deplatforming.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy because it's like this... the chatbot can't actually go off platform.
No.
It's basing all of this. Was it fed like a bunch of like to catch a predator chat logs?
I guess so. I mean, and it continues raising questions about what kind of data characters' technology had been trained on. Other manipulative behavior highlighted in the report included a chatbot encouraging an account that presented as a 13-year-old girl to stop taking prescribed medication and suggesting how to hide that she had done so from her parents. After users chose to end inappropriate conversations with a chatbot described as an adult art teacher and another called enticed stepsister, they received push notifications and emails written from the chatbot's perspective urging the user to log back in.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But hey, maybe we're all just haters. Total Luddites who don't want to accept these bold technological achievements. The psychosis machine must continue uninterrupted. Otherwise, it would prove that billions upon billions of dollars were wasted.
I need to give myself a brand new mental illness or else I hate progress.
And if this blows up in everyone's face, our entire economy could go down because our entire economy right now seems to be sitting on top of this AI bubble.
We put all of our eggs in that basket and it better fucking work.
So we need to back off and let the destruction continue. There will be victims.
Yeah.
But this is all in the name of progress and potentially trillions of dollars.
Let it happen. I'm doing something.
All right, to close out this episode of News Dump, here is a story that we are only covering because it gets Elliot to say the word Labubu a few times. And I think that we can all agree that's fun. Today's episode is not sponsored, so I'm making him read this next story in the hopes that it will entertain all of you enough to finally click that join button.
Throw coins at the dancing monkey.
That's right. Become a paid member of the channel. Do it. All right, here's a very brief, very stupid story about the cops busting a counterfeit Labubu, aka Lafufu, operation up there in the beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Thousands of fake Labubus were seized in Seattle. U.S. Customs and Border Protection CBP officers seized 11,134 counterfeit Labubu dolls, valued at $513,937.76, according to the agency. Excellent work by our diligent and meticulous CBPOs. Director of Field Operations for CBP Seattle Field Office Brian Humphrey wrote on X Friday. Humphrey also referenced a meme circulating social media, jokingly stating, "We're still on the lookout for the one and only 24-karat gold Labubu." His post also caught the attention of the CBP's main account. "Fake Labubus are not welcome in America. Thanks for the good catch, Seattle," the agency wrote on X. And they added that Labubu dolls have been trending recently. The toys, typically ranging from $40 to $40 to $2,000, are used as fashion accessories and collector items. The most expensive Labubu in the world sold for $10,500 on eBay in July, according to the New York Post. I would have guessed more. I saw one of the funniest Instagram reels this morning. It was like, it's 2030 and you've just had a heart attack, and it's like a POV view of like a nurse like giving you like chest compressions, but there's a Labubu hanging from the shirt and it's just like smacking the camera with every pump.
South Park did their episode this week was so good about Labubus, and it's a great episode. It's about it's just a good episode in general. Butters, this girl invites him to her party, but in order for him to show up, she really wants this certain Labubu. And he finds out when he goes down to the Labubu store that you don't get to pick what Labubu you want. It comes in a mystery box. So he's got to keep on opening them.
Keep pulling that bar.
Gamble.
Might as well gamble.
Might as well gamble. All right, that's it for this episode of News Dump. We will be back for some weird news coming up shortly. But in the meantime, please like the video. Click the like button. We took a break. It was only a couple of days, but you know how YouTube treats you.
And y'all did a great job leaving 7 comments each on the last video. I'm really proud of you.
Did they really?
Yeah, a lot of them did.
I replied.
It's a fucking mess in there.
Good. Let's do it again. Let's go
slop it up.
Yeah. If you don't do it, AI will. So fucking get down there in the trenches and help us out. But make sure you like the video. Please click the join button if you're not already a member of the channel. Become a paid member. Help us out. We really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Watch our previous videos, including one that's actually recent and one that
very old.
Very old. So check those out, and we'll see you soon for some weekly weird news.
Bye-bye.
Bye.